Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Yes, M0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, U5 and 9, very nice signal indeed there, name is Ben, Bravo, Echo, November, Twitter.
QSL Ben, and a superb signal from you today, peaking 5 and 9 plus 30, and just pretty consistent around 5 and 9 20. So 5 and 9 10. It's a lovely signal from you. My name is Mark. That's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. Today I'm using a Kenwood or an old Trio Tango Sierra 520 Sierra. It's a hybrid analog radio, and the antenna is just a 30-meter long wire running about 50 to 75 watts. Ben, how do you copy? OZ8 BV, this is M0 JCF.
Okay, very fine, Mark. M0 Japan, J Charlie Foxtrot, 5 and 9 plus 10 dB all the way through there, Mark. So low power is doing a fantastic job there. And thanks for the nice comments on the signal. I wonder, how is the audio? You like the audio? I've been shooting a little bit today on the Domino and trying to get that to go. So how do you like the audio?
Yeah, the audio is actually fine. No problems with the audio. I take it you're using Vox, VOX, because when you take a breath, obviously you can hear it switch. But apart from that, the actual audio from your voice is really good. No problems whatsoever, Ben. Back to you.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Great to hear that. I did an hour or so just to get the equalizer going and all that there. So I am using Vox there, but I have to work a little bit on the switching in and switching off there, so you won't hear the noise in the background. But I'm sitting here in the shack and I have a new floor in the transceiver here, which I have mounted there. And that is not so it's very noisy, but normally I work remote. And then I don't, nobody use it, so that's how it goes there. Fine, Mark, and your station is doing fine. You have a little bit something maybe on the microphone or on the, a little bit of HF in there. Maybe it's my receiver, but I'm not sure. So it's a bit of tension there, Mark, but I have no problem copying you. Nice and clean audio, and it's a begin. At the end of every syllable, whatever it is there, but it's not doing anything to leading you, Mark. M0 CFO said a Bravo Victor.
Yeah, OZ8 Bravo Victor M0 JCF. I'll tell you what it might be, Ben. I tuned this radio near 7 decimal 100, and I didn't retune when I came up to this frequency. So if you bear with me, I might be overdriving slightly. I'm just going to check the ALC, and I'll be transmitting a tone. If that's okay with you, it should only take me a few seconds to see if I can clean up that audio slightly. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, no problem, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I read it perfect, so absolutely armchair, but it was just for your information here, so try and see what you can do there.
Yeah, let me just retune and just see what happens. Please QRX OZ8BV. This is M0 JCF, just tuning. Yeah, Oscar Zulu 8, Bravo Victor, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Fox. How is that, Ben? I'm now transmitting peak about 110 watts, and yeah, the ALC was very low. In fact, it was almost non-existent. There was no drive at all. Back to you.
You're stronger now, but it did not make any difference. So I don't know. It's just like if you had a little bit of a paper on the microphone, which is a It's very strange actually, but it is there and it is not gone there, Christoph.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Very interesting indeed. I tell you, the radio is old. It's over 40 years old, and as I say, it's an old hybrid. So sometimes they need a kick. The microphone I'm using though isn't a Trio or Kenwood. It's made by a company called Pi, an old British company. Papa Yankee Echo is the microphone, and it might just be the microphone and the way that I'm talking into it. As I say, sometimes I tend to be a bit loud, Ben. Sometimes I talk too loud into the microphone, and this microphone it likes to be held at a certain angle, and sometimes I don't pay attention, and I might be shouting into the front or blowing across the side. So that might be the situation. But yeah, as I say, I'm now tuned properly, which is a good thing, and I'm now putting out respectable power, and as you say, louder. But I think it may well be the way that I was using the microphone, and that might be the issue. But as you say, you can hear me perfectly, but it's always good to have these little technical details, because of course this is very short skip that we're running today. I'm just in Kent. I'm in the town of Sidcup in Kent. That's Sierra India Delta Charlie Uniform Papa, and obviously with a very short skip there's no problem. But you know, if I was running a longer distance, like this morning I was on 15 meters on this radio, and I was talking to Olaf in Namibia on 15 meters, and he was having trouble. Now the conditions were bad for DX on that band, at least with the antenna that I'm using, just a long wire antenna. But of course it could also have been the microphone. It could have just been the way I was talking there, Ben. Back to you. OZ8BV, this is M0JCF.
Okay, Mark, very fine there. Well, very difficult to say there, but it is definitely something there. A report from somebody else would be good, probably. Maybe it's just my receiver. I don't know. To see, you're very strong. But it sounds maybe like a little bit of HS in there. Maybe some little loose part in your microphone, but with the microphone, hopefully come and disappear because the voice and microphone, we're not using the same errors of the speech at the time there, so I think it will be something in the transceiver. But you get the report from somebody else, and I think you're right. If you had marginal conditions, it would be difficult to reach you. But under those conditions right now, it's okay with your long wire, fantastic there. I only work on 40 with a 3/3 full-size Yagi. Upper Yagi 46 meters high and the lower Yagi is high. I'm beaming right into the UK at the moment there. M0JCF OZ8 Bravo Victor.
Yeah, OZ8 Bravo Victor, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot returning. You know, I think you may be correct actually with your first assumption of RF. Normally I don't get any complaints on say 80 meters or 20. I don't normally go above 20, apart from this morning I was working 15, but normally 40 meters is on other radios. I've had RF in the shack. Now it doesn't happen on other bands, but it does, and it has happened on 40 meters before now. And I know this because I've touched the metal part of an old microphone before now, and it's given me that slight shock, you know, that slight RF tingle. So I think you're probably correct in your assumption. Now this radio, my shack is normally in my attic in the roof of the house, but this particular radio I'm running in my garage, only because it's a big old radio and it just gives me flexibility to work elsewhere. Now this radio, I haven't got an external earth, only the earth on the excuse me, I don't have an external external earth connected to this radio or the tuner, and I was going to buy an earth rod this week and drill a hole in the floor of the garage and knock a separate earth into it, and I think that would probably stop the RF coming back into the shack. But I think your assumption there is probably the correct one, because it is on 40 meters that in the past I have had RF in the shack. As I say, because this is a completely different location with this radio, and I just haven't run in. I didn't know that it would really make a lot of difference, but it appears it would, and that might be my next project for this this area to work, is to put a separate earth in, actually in the floor of my garage, and I think that would probably solve a lot of problems. Back to you, OZ8BVM0JCF.
Okay, very good there. Maybe you could just take a little green plant and put into the garage, a little rod in the pot there. Well, that was a joke, of course. So yeah, I think you're right there. That may be doing a difference there. And I hear you're using NMM too there. I'm using the 8000 on this side here, but I have no grounding at all. Only the coaxial cable going out to the antenna. Yeah, but I have no problem with the HF as far as I know. Very good there. Okay, Mark, so maybe somebody else, let's see, anybody else on frequency who could give the Mark a report if I'm right or not?
Nothing heard this end, Ben.
Echo.
Sorry again, Ben, I might have keyed up over you.
Okay, several stations. Mike Victor Echo. What was that again? No, there was 3 stations calling, but it was so quick and on top of each other, so I didn't get. One station can skip is not so good for it. Anyway, Mark, great to hear you. Work on that, and if the hole in the garage. Then you have the advantage, of course, if it starts raining a lot, you can let the water in the hole, and put some salt in there, and you get an excellent ground plate QSL.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, sometimes I pour a bucket of water on the external earth to the 9-to-1 unun, and maybe that would help today, because it hasn't rained for a few days, which is very, very unusual for England. But it hasn't rained, and the ground may be a bit dry. But you know, I'm really appreciate you coming back to me and giving me a good audio report as well. Not too many hams like to do that. I think some of them they feel a bit bad when they say, oh, your audio isn't good or your signal isn't good, and they feel bad to tell you that information. But you know, I'm all for it. I think everyone should give that information, and you know, it helps everyone along. But those stations, I didn't actually hear them. I could hear voice patterns, but I couldn't hear the stations. I think the problem is with 40 meters as well. I do have quite a high noise floor. Today is particularly bad. Sometimes it's as low as S5. Today it's around S7, S8, and but your signal is so strong that it's no problem. But I'll tell you what, Ben, I know other people would love to be speaking to you now, and having said that our weather is dry, it is actually a very nice Sunday afternoon. I've just noticed the time, and I think what I'm going to do is get myself into the garden now, grab a beer, take my t-shirt off, grab some vitamin D from the sky, and come back to the radio at a later time. But once again, appreciate the idea that I may have RF in the shack, and that is something that I can definitely look at and something I can solve very, very quickly. So all the very best to you, Ben. It's lovely speaking to you. You've given me a lot of your time. I mean, you've given me a good 15 minutes of your time, and it's always always a pleasure to have a Ragchew rather than the usual contesters we've had this weekend, which is 5 and 9, 001, 002, etc. and move along please. You know how it works. So as I say, I had a good contact this morning. Well, not a good contact, but I had a contact into Namibia on this radio on the long wire. So that was good for me. And this Ragchew also makes it good. So all the very best, old chap. Look forward to catching you again. I don't know if you're ever QRV on 2 meters, but I can always point my beam in your direction. I know you said to someone earlier that you are from Switzerland, so I can always beam towards Switzerland. That's one country I haven't worked yet on 2 meters, so that will be good. And I look forward to the next time. I know you said you really only operate 40 meters, so maybe that's not an option. But all the very best to you. 73 to the family, and a safe trip back to Switzerland. Oscar Zulu 8 Bravo Victor. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, listening for any finals. Cheers, Ben.
Okay, very good, Mark. And okay, yes, I have no radios out in Switzerland. I live there. I would normally, I'm in Denmark right now, but only from the 4 days. Normally I work, everything is remote control. The Yagis, the receivers, the station, the linear, everything is just remotely controlled there. So normally I'm not in Denmark, and I have no radios, only a little bit of a little black box for the remote controlling on this my desktop in Switzerland. That's how it goes here. Best Mark 73, all thanks for calling. And have a nice bottle of beer there. And I mean, if you're married, you can always use your wife as a ground phone. So have fun, 73.
Yeah, very, very true. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Bye-bye, Ben. Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Fox now, clear.